Here's what we're gonna do now. We're gonna take Mr. Anoob here, and he is gonna put in some laps. And we're gonna use him because he is the fastest, most consistentest pilot that we've got here. Not in the world, necessarily, but here, in the park today.
Generally, I'm terrible.
He's not bad.
I might be the most professional person at crashing.
Yep.
Maybe.
You've definitely been on ESPN more than any of us. Anybody? 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 No. Okay. So he is going to put in some laps. He's going to do, we think we're going to do 2-minute laps. The Merica will do longer, or not 2-minute laps, 2 minutes of laps. It'll go longer, but because it's carrying a GoPro, these 1050 batteries, they won't quite do 2.5 minutes. So we're going to do 2 minutes and see how many laps he puts in. And the goal here is not going to be to like just send it as fast as he can, but to kind of try and be consistent. Because his, like, 85% speed consistent is probably equivalent to many of us going all out. And we just want to see how the battery performs. Let's do it. Neil, you're so tall. You're taller that you have to hold the camera like up here.
I've gotten shorter in my old age.
So have I.
First one is 2069. Second one is 2040. Third is 20.01. Okay, that's 19.55.
Got a little faster there. It's getting faster as he goes. He's on his 5th lap.
Okay, that's 2030. And we're about to be at 2 minutes.
They call when you see 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
760 milliamp hours. Keep going if you want to, Zach. And around 21.1 volts.
Final lap is 19.40.
Okay. Go ahead. You want to finish the pack, Zach? It's up to you.
Might as well.
Next lap.
Okay, 19.72.
940 milliamp hours ish. 20 volts.
Very consistent.
Yeah, keep putting the packs until we get to 10:30, as long as we're almost there. Nah, it's 10:30 right there. That's the pack.
Last was 20.01.
So,
Yeah, I backed off because I noticed the resolution was dropping.
so you started to notice the throttle sag there at the end.
Right when we hit the limit, right when you said 10:30 is when I was like yeah, because I pushed it. I did a nose down to do a sprint right at the end, and it just didn't really do what it did at the start. So
And it
just
looked like you were down around 20 volts.
yeah. So
So
like it was done, and we couldn't have got another lap. But like I would say the entire flight, it felt very consistent until about halfway through the last lap. Still completely flyable, but not full send anymore.
But in the 2 minute time mark, in that first 2 minutes, you didn't notice any sag in the pack at all.
Not at all. Honestly,
Okay.
like first 2 minutes, it felt the same every corner, which made flying like cakewalk.
all right,
Perfect.
let's do
Awesome.
for us.
Professional lap counter. And here we go. Okay.
Add that to your resume.
Yes,
Oh yeah, this battery's almost dead on the Lumix. We got to wrap this up. My Lumix is almost dead. No pressure, Zach.
20.34.
20.34. That's pretty close. It's pretty close. You better look around 9. He'll hit 19 on the second lap. His first lap's always a tiny bit slower.
19.6.
There you go. Right in the muck. Right in the muck. That's why that boy is a professional. Professional. They don't just put anybody in ESPN. He's a professional right there.
Professional.
Professional.
Professionales. 19.36.
Keep it up. Keep it up. 3 laps. Hours.
19.33.
Very good. Wow. Very consistent. 1,000 milliamp hours.
What kind of amp draw?
Let's see. Cruising around 30. I saw 100 briefly in the corner. Yep, there's around 107 on the punch out.
That last lap was 19.16.
A little faster, 1200. Keep running it, Zach.
You're at 2 minutes.
2 minutes at 1280 milliamp hours. I'm gonna run it all the way to 15. Let's see, 14 volts, 13.5 volts. A racer would keep going now. How's it feel, Zach?
It's got soft about a lap and a half ago.
Okay, so we're at 1450 and 14 volts. It's sagging down to, it's still above 13.5.
That one was 18.96.
We're at 15, 50, 60. We've now fully expended the battery. Go ahead and bring it in. We're going to kill it. At this point, 14 volts, 1650 milliamp hours.
How many?
1650.
1650.
So about halfway through it, I noticed, especially after the split S and the hairpin, that it was much harder to get up out of the corner. Not like extremely harder, but I had to, essentially the entire time I was flying, I started to have to increase my throttle every maneuver, every place.
Push harder.
The biggest thing is I could hear is when I would punch through the split S, every lap it was softer and it was slower through the split S. I know my lap times are a little bit different this time, but I think that's
You're
just
actually pretty dead on 19.
yeah, I think that's part of being a little bit more comfortable at the track and cleaning up the lines.
Yeah.
But to me, it was the two most apparent parts was the full throttle punch out to the split S. It was harder to recover and hit that real flat angle you talked about, where I come down and just hit straight. That was harder. I think if you watch it, you'll see it bobbles a little more. And then the hairpin right after that through the gate, it was getting harder and harder to get up out of that corner.
You're making me think something. There's an argument. There's an argument to be made that the difference between 4S and 6S is not night and day. That and I've been sort of formulating this argument that for racers who are trying to get the absolute most, if you're qualifying and you need 2 minutes, 5 laps, that 6S puts you over the edge. But that for sort of your average, well, hang on, for your average racer, maybe it's not as big a difference. But what I'm thinking now is almost the opposite, that for you, the top racers like you feel a difference, but at the end of the day, you're still able to put in the laps, because you can work around the deficiencies of the battery. Again, it's only that when you're really at the edge that you can't give it any more, and then 6S comes ahead.
So yeah, so to add to that, the biggest difference I would say is 6S was much easier to pilot due to its consistency.
And that's something that's going to be hard to bring out as we try to make scientific testing. Because you feeling more confident, people will say, well, that's subjective. Well, yeah.
Yeah, so racing, there is subject. It's a mental game on top of an equipment game.
Here is something that a lot of people haven't talked about yet, is that with 4S you have a voltage limit, right? So if let's say you're not necessarily wanting to go out and race and get 2.5 minutes, but you like to just go as fast as you can possibly go, or maybe you want to go, you have a 4S rig and you want to go a bit faster. You don't want to kill your battery in a minute, but you'd like to go a bit faster. With 4S, you're kind of limited by the voltage, so you have a shelf there. With 6S, there's a lot more headroom, right? So this is to give you for instance, This quad, this is a 1750. There's no reason that you can't go up to maybe 1900.
Well, now you're
1850, right?
Yeah.
And that way it opens you up to some more performance. So depending on the track you've got, if you've got a small technical track and you're pretty skilled and you can handle that much speed, you can do it. With 4S, you can't get any more performance because your voltage is limited. So there's that.
Yeah, nobody's running 4-cell 2800.
Right.
The motors that we're working off of are equivalent to a 4-cell 2600.
Correct. Yeah.
But with 6-cell, you can go to a 17 or a 1750 or an 18 or an 1850.
You can play with that.
And frankly, I think that's what we're going to see racers doing. If you need 2 minutes and you can get 2.5 on 6S 17, they're going to be running 1750.
Yeah. The next motor, the next wind that we want to do on the same motor, this is a 2205, is I want to try an 1850. I want to see what happens. So it'll be fun.
Then we'll be back to killing batteries.
That's
guys. We're gonna take. There we go. We're gonna take you out with Mr. Noob here, Mr. A Noob, Zach right there. He is gonna put in a full send, which is what racers call it when they go as fast as they can, well, at least as fast as you can with the amount of practice laps you've had.
Yeah, the goal
he was
is
holding back a little. We're gonna do a full send on 4S.
Full send.
And that's gonna do it for this video, though. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. Thank you, Catalyst Machineworks, for hosting us and for letting us crash and break your quads. And links down in the video description to all the relevant things that you can buy if you're interested in this. And your YouTube channel.
A-Nub FPV. Check it out. Instagram, YouTube, Facebook.
We've got you racing here, but you're actually a hell of a freestyle pilot too.
That's right. My YouTube channel is all full of beautiful freestyle. I fly the silky beaches of California.
Embarrassing that you're so good at both things. Screw you, really.
Hey, you know what? Maybe I'll teach you something today.
I should never have picked that catchphrase. Thank you guys so much for watching. That's going to do it for us. Watch him put some full send laps in. Happy flying.